Britt, get your life together, man.
Okay, all right, start us off.
Man, Hurricane Katrina, a race against time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Britt, that was an emotional roller coaster. I wasn't expecting, man. I don't know what I
Uh-huh.
was expecting going in, watching
Mm-hmm.
it,
Mm-hmm.
but
Executive
it
produced
just
by
it
Ryan
took me.
Coogler,
Executive produced by
the
Ryan
guy who,
Crew.
not the guy, the man who made us Sinners,
Yeah,
Black
yeah, yeah,
Panther,
yeah, yeah. For sure.
yeah, and
For
many
sure.
more projects to come.
Directed by Tracy A. Curry. Okay.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't even know how you want to attack this, Britt. How you want to attack this, man?
So I don't. When did Katrina happen?
2000 and mm, I want to say 2000
Was it
and yeah, 2005, August 2005. I thought so.
okay? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
two. Okay, so how?
2005,
So how
20 years
old
ago.
were you? Huh?
I said I was just saying 20 years ago. Hmm.
Okay, so I was 12, and
Man.
I guess how I just want to start is just that I was 12. And with that being said, just what I was seeing in the media and what I was seeing in the news. And it's obviously, when you're growing up, you see things on the news and you're like, oh, okay. Sometimes you just take it for face value. It is what it is. And
For sure.
then when you get older, you start to develop, start to mature, you get your own point of view on things like that. So when I was watching it, I was like, oh, I remember seeing a little bit about this when they started to go back and forth. They're doing the flashbacks of the news, and I was like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, I slightly remember this, I slightly remember that, but I never, I think maybe one or two Katrina documentaries, or maybe one, honestly, I've seen before. And it was like, wow, this is sad. Obviously the situation is horrible. And then when you get into the nitty-gritty of it, of those
Yeah.
episodes around like episode 2, episode 3, you're like, dang, they really have these people all, on their head, and like just whatever.
Lord, Lord,
And
Lord, Lord.
so episode 1, paints the picture. Levee broke. Episode 2, everybody in the Superdome. Episode 3, you get into, hey, we need to get these people out of here. Episode 4, we need to get these people out of here. And then on the other side of New Orleans, some other crazy stuff happening. And then episode 5, because it was 5 episodes, 5 or 6, 5. I want to say episode
5,
5. Yeah,
5. Yeah,
episode
it's 5 of 'em.
5, and then you're like, wow, it's still it's still horrible. And so when I was, because I was texting Jordan, I was telling Jordan, I was like, oh my gosh, Jordan, where were you? Where was your mom? What was this? What was that? Because
Yeah.
when I saw that some people that didn't even have to go to the Superdome, and then
Mm.
they employed that, they had the National Guard there, and they were like, you have to leave your home, and you have to leave, you have to go here, you have to go there, because the one lady with the blonde hair, she was from the
Oh,
trim
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. She was
trim
the hairstylist.
Yes, and she was like,
Yeah.
"I don't have to." She was like, "I don't have to leave. My house is above water. We're fine over
Mhm.
here." But they were
Yeah.
telling her, "You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go." And then you have another lady over here. She had her shots were mostly, she was like centered. I forget her name. I did take notes. I just don't have. And so she was saying when they were coming to get her, when she saw the baby, and the
Mm.
baby had died,
Jesus.
and she was like, okay, well, let me get the baby, let me at least try to figure out what's going on here, and try to get a baby to the parent, something, or we
Uh-huh,
buried it with
uh-huh.
something.
Yeah, just
And
something.
the officer, he just pushed the baby away.
Brett.
Oh my god. Sorry,
When
this
I
is
hear
gonna be
oh
full on
my goodness.
full blown spoiler alert. I will tell
Yeah, I
you
was about
that,
to say,
guys.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
spoiler alert for
But
sure.
it's still really good to watch. Don't just take my word for it. But
Super informative.
um very very informative. I did not know about George Bush not touching ground. I did not know about that.
Oh my goodness, Brittany. So
Yeah.
wild so wild to hear that. And then let me hop in. So
Okay.
when Katrina was happening for me, I was
Mm,
I was 17, and I was born in Baton Rouge. So,
mhm.
I actually have family that actually, got out the city and everything like that. But Britt, even like as you were talking about just like the episodes, yeah, I just want to read to y'all the title of the episode. So episode
Oh,
one
yeah.
was the coming storm. So this is
Mhm.
before, right? This is the pre. Then episode two, worst case scenario. But Britt, I'm gonna skip down. Episode four, shoot to kill.
Yeah. And
Oh
that whole
God.
episode was horrible. And that
Oh my
just the
goodness.
other side. And it was crazy because they didn't let them go to the other side of the bridge, and the mayor was like, they're cutting this off because there's the evacuation plan. And it was
Man.
like, well, get out and go on the other side of the bridge. But they were told
Oh,
not to.
but wait, 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 wait,
What what
wait.
what?
The crazy thing, because we talked about this offline, but the crazy thing was, I'm not sure if it was months before or a year before, but they had an evacuation plan in place to get
Yeah.
these people out.
They
But they
had
didn't tap into
buses.
they had buses and they had a whole situation planned. But it literally was to the point to where these people had the resources and had the way to where they could have saved many of these people, because keep in mind,
Mhm.
a lot of these people in New Orleans, like, because just as we've heard the stat before, that like if a life emergency comes up, many people can't even afford to pay for that 300
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
$150 emergency situation. So these people, a lot of them are like, I'm staying put because this is all I have, but I'm staying put also because storms come all the time, this is going to pass. But at the same time, there were many people who would have wanted to get out and who would have wanted to be able to, I don't want to
Yeah.
say deported, but been able to been shifted
Yeah, yeah,
and bust
yeah.
out,
Just
but
relocated.
relocated, but y'all never brought the buses.
Mm-mm.
You never, President of the United States, Governor, Mayor, like y'all never boots on the ground, so y'all never actually saw what was happening. Y'all saw that y'all were watching the same news that we was watching.
And then
So
the
y'all
crazy
was
part
seeing.
about it, and then yeah, to that point, the crazy part about it was that yeah, the Hurricane Betty, that's what it was. It was Hurricane Betty,
Mm,
and and then after that, then they came up with that plan, and then like you said, they didn't pull the trigger on the plan. And so one of my favorite parts of the whole entire documentary was when General Honore, when
oh
he
yeah, yeah,
came
yeah,
in,
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah, yeah,
came
yeah.
in, he meant business, he got
Man,
everything. I was like, that man need a statue in Louisiana. I
say
was like, he need a statue because
he the
I was
real
like,
deal.
yes, exactly, came through. Hey, this what we need to do. Get these people here, get these people there. Boom, 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 boom. Put them guns down. Uh,
Man,
that
man.
was so sad that the
When
fact
you
that they had, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead.
when you got National Guard, and National Guard is going in with the mindset of, okay, we about to shoot to kill, okay, we about to, this is something so super terrifying. No, these are people, and to your point about what General Honore said,
Mm.
he said this is the patience of the poor. He said when you're poor you
Mhm.
lose options. So you have people who haven't eaten in almost going on like a week, and then
Yeah.
you also have people who are waiting to get answers. So yeah, these people, of course, are going to be frustrated, mad, and riled up, but they're not necessarily mad at you, National Guard. They're not necessarily mad at you, police officers. They're just trying to get answers. And imagine if you're trying to get answers and you waiting and you see cars passing by you and nobody's answering. So
Mhm.
you got the National Guard coming in with guns and they ready to shoot to kill. It's like, bro, like this ain't even that. Like these people is
Yeah,
just trying to
and the
figure out
and
where
the
they're gonna
FEMA
eat.
director was trash. The FEMA director was trash
Man,
because they were over there emailing him, talking to him, da 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 da, and next thing you know, this man out to eat at a steakhouse.
that's crazy.
Can and I
That
think
is
like that's the
unreal.
part that like blows my mind, Jonathan, about the whole thing is that like these people that are in these positions, these people that are in power that have the power to say, all right, cool, we're gonna give them the buses, we're gonna give them the food, we're gonna give them this, we're gonna give them that. Eating at a restaurant while people are, I mean, I wouldn't say, yes, people are dying, but also
Yeah,
people are stuck in the Superdome. Like,
Man,
what
say.
is wrong with y'all? Y'all over here trying to get a steak, and they can't even get a box of crackers. And then
This
on
is
top of that, when it comes to the looting situation, they're
oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
thugs and calling us thugs and calling them all types of names. And it's like, and then it goes to the flashbacks to the news outlets, and they're
Mhm.
and they're talking about it, and they're saying these horrible things about these people. And all these people, do they want answers? Some of these people need medicines. These
Yeah,
babies ain't got food, no
yeah,
formula, no nothing. And it's
man.
like, well, what do you expect me to do if I have nothing? The
You have
store,
nothing.
the stores are there. Why
Mhm.
shouldn't I not go get me some food so I can eat, so I can feed myself and feed my family and just help other people around me? Why
Yeah,
wouldn't y'all do that? You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
Like, why is the mayor not saying, or whoever is supposed to be running this thing, because nobody knew who was in charge, which is crazy.
Oh my goodness. You never knew. And then the part like to your part about to your point about the looting, like if any of us were to be in a like near death situation and there is a grocery store right there
Right there.
and the grocery store is flooding and the majority of the stuff in the store now is trash, but you have access to get what you need, if it be water, if it be, like some bread or some form of
Mm-hmm.
sustenance, anybody would go in there and go
Mm-hmm.
get what they need to get. We're not saying they're gonna go shopping like supermarket sweep in there, but they just gonna get what they need to be able to feed themselves and their family. Because we're not talking about people who are looting. I
Right.
wouldn't even consider this looting. They're at this point, this is survival. Like they're just
Yeah.
going in for survival. But then one thing that I really thought was like really beautiful about this was so there's two dynamics, right? On one dynamic, this is where I think fake news probably originated from, to where you see them saying they're thugs and they're saying that this is real scary what's happening. Yeah, it's scary. It's even more scary for the people who are there, right?
Right.
But then the other side was you see these people in New Orleans who the majority of them were black and brown, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see them cleaning up their city, like they're in the midst of
Right.
this storm, in the midst of this going on, like they're cleaning up the aftermath. And then
Yeah.
some of them are like they're getting food and they're cooking for each other, looking out for each other. And I was like, man, this is beautiful to see. It's unfortunate,
Mm-hmm.
but it's beautiful to see how these people really are, just taking care of like
Yeah.
the elderly, and like you
Mm-hmm.
see how people can get structured and get ordered. Like how the one gentleman, I can't remember his name, but he was like one of the main actors on, not actors, but one of the main gentlemen on the show.
Mm.
And he talked about how they had all these people on top of the building because they were trying to get them out of the
Right.
canned apartments.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the majority of them were black. But then he said, well, let's just see something. So then he
Oh
put them
yeah.
inside
Mm-hmm.
and then brought
Mm-hmm.
all the people who were white and all the people who were in
15
wheelchairs.
minutes.
15 minutes and they was dropping whatever they needed. I
And
was
because
like,
that was a crazy part when he said, he was like, I hope my city not like this. I hope my city not like this. And then that's when he was
man.
like, he wrote the military letters, and he
Hmm.
spray painted the military letters, got all the black people off the roof, put the white people on the roof, and he said
Man,
15 minutes. And he was like, I'm so sad. Like you're just so
hurts, man.
sad that, you grow up somewhere, you take pride in where you live, and they still treat you like that.
That hurts, man. And then the other part, and then for y'all who are just tuning in, y'all, we're doing a reaction or doing a review of the Hurricane Katrina Race Against Time documentary, executive produced by Ryan Coogler.
On Hulu.
Phenomenal on
Mhm.
Hulu. Yeah. Phenomenal. If you have not seen it, you need to tap in because it's just one of those things that we need to be informed about and educated about. Uh,
Mhm.
but one of the other things was how helicopters started to turn around because it was said on the news that a helicopter was shot down. And then when
Yes, the helicopter was shot
Brittany,
down, and then on top of
oh
that,
my,
there was a sniper. It was like
Brittany,
so much
oh my,
stuff,
then the
Jonathan.
helicopter returned to, the port. And then that helicopter that was allegedly shot down was asking like, what happened? What happened? There was like a helicopter got shot down. There's like, what helicopter? We were that helicopter.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, and it's like, bruh, that wasted 15, 20 minutes. And mind you, people are dying by the
Mhm.
minute. Cause just like you talked about
Mhm.
earlier, babies don't got formula, people need meds and
Yeah.
all this stuff, man. And then the part that
Yeah.
really got me was once again, these people are, I'm not gonna say they're getting unruly, but they're getting frustrated. And
Yeah.
then you see a cop who comes through, and they're here supposed to be to protect and serve. And then you're like, hey, I want to, hey, what's going on? What can we expect? What's going on? They don't give you answers. They tell you get away from the car. The guy starts to walk away, and then they shoot and kill this man
Oh, yeah, that was so
in
sad.
in the midst of other
Broad
people.
daylight. Yeah, broad daylight too.
Broad daylight.
Yeah, that was
Oh
crazy.
my
And
goodness.
then just to your point when you were talking about police and like information, and then with the I don't know if he was a captain, but the cop that he was black, and he was
Mhm.
like, I was, he said any information that was coming through, I was just saying it. And I was
Yeah.
like, and when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, because
Mm-mm.
he was just diarrhea at the mouth. He was just saying
Mm-mm.
whatever information that he got. So he heard about the sniper, then he said a sniper. He heard about um 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 someone being violated. Then he
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, then he said that. And then somebody said it was his daughter. And then that. And so it was just like
Mm-mm.
one thing after another, and his emotions really came over him because
Oh
he
yeah.
could not stop talking. And so with all these like false stories, so they talk about this, he's saying this right now, and then the other media groups outlets are also saying what he's saying. So it's just like one on top of the other, one on top of another. So,
Crazy.
man, so all in all, y'all,
Mm-mm.
please go watch
Man,
the documentary. It's really good. Once again, it's on Hulu, and
for sure.
yeah,
Five episodes. You got, man. It's worth that time.
yeah, yeah.
40
You
about
get it.
40 minutes episode, but man,
Yeah.
watch it. It's necessary. Like we need to watch. Over 1 million people were displaced.
Over 1 million people.
1 million people were displaced, and now, what now? Because the ninth, because even the man, I don't, well, okay. So in this last part, so
Mm-hmm.
in the ninth ward before Katrina, there were about over 14,000 people in the population,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're just over about 4,000.
Mm.
So the area has not been restored, the population has not been restored, and man, we just have to do better.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got to do better. We got to get back to caring for people and caring about people, and like just doing what's right, man. Like I mean, come
Yeah.
on, like
Yeah.
dang,
Yeah. And gotta take care of your own. And that's kind
yeah,
of what that
that
is.
that's
Yeah.
that for sure. And I mean, that's what they were doing though in New
Mm-hmm.
Orleans. That's what they were doing. So, man, shout out to the city of New Orleans. Shout out to my home state, Louisiana. But man, yeah, this can't happen again, man. This
Yeah.
can't happen.